Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we.
Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, what's popping with you, Tony? What's happening with you this early afternoon? What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Still still celebrating this win and happy to be back on the losers lounge for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. 8 in a row for the Knicks feels real good right now. Feels real, real good. And fan bases across the NBA are frustrated, ladies and gentlemen, with the New York Knicks fan base because we're celebrating so much. And we're happy that we have a good basketball team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what? I know, Tony, you're always in the chats. How much do you see these fan bases getting mad at the Knicks fan base?
Well, to be honest, man, it's valid. It's valid because we are everywhere. I'm not gonna take the credit, you know what I mean? But Knicks fans are invading everybody's chat. So even when I'm going through these comments, I gotta sift through and make sure I'm not putting Nick comments in because we in there, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them is making up fake names and fake accounts just to get some comments up in there.
That's crazy. We're taking over arenas and we're taking over their comment section.
And they mad. They mad for sure.
They're mad.
They bringing up all our past, all our nicks and bruises. Oh, y'all haven't been good. And da. You're acting like y'all won a championship. But it feel like we on our way there. I'll tell you that.
It feels like it. You know what I'm saying? It feels like we on our way there soon. You know what I mean? Feels like we're on our way there real soon. You know what I mean? And definitely hope we're going to get there soon. But yeah, people are a little bit upset. You see, this guy said Knicks have their first good team in 700 years. And they're all over their opponents' communities. Enjoy trolling, fellas. I mean, what we gonna do, man? This is this is the new wave.
We enjoying our wins, man. 700 years of turmoil. We got to be happy and celebrate right now.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Big shout out to Donald Cannon. Thank you very much. Super appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. He said to make up for the time they hated on you, talking about YouTube when they had the channel demonetized. Glad I'm able to send some love. Thank you. Much appreciated, Donald. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Joe, that's, Knicks fans, we're everywhere. You know what I mean? Let's put it like this. Just be glad you're out in Utah because we're probably not moving to Utah. There might be a couple, but we're probably not moving to Utah. So, just be glad at that because if we were moving to Utah, we
take over the arenas.
You know what I mean? Come and take over your. And you know what? The more people comment on this stuff, the more Knicks fans are going to invade. You know what I'm saying? The more Knicks fans are going to invade. That's the beauty of it. That's definitely the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? And then Tony,
where's your fan base at?
Exactly.
Because they wasn't in there. Like when I say I had to sift through the comments, it was about 50-50. It felt like we was in an arena because it was 50-50. It was not that many people making comments. It was a little ghost town.
Yeah.
But this kind of stirred them up. When they see me put that, they started peeking in. I guess they was just reading the comments before that.
Comments before that. Yeah. I mean, they got to get, people got to step up and support their team. You know what I'm saying? They step up and support their team, they won't have to worry about it. I mean, Adam said, we are a different team every 2 weeks for seemingly no reason. It's so frustrating to be a Jazz fan.
Oh, I mean, they were on a roll, right? Since they beat us. They were one of the top teams in the league since that time that they beat us. So, but they are on a down stretch. This was a losing road trip. We put the stamp on the losing road trip.
Right. And I mean, like, when a team is, think about it. They just lost Donovan Mitchell a year ago. You know what I mean? And he was their, he was their franchise player for a while. So now they're rebuilding. Right? And for them to be rebuilding, to be around a 500 ball club isn't bad. Now they just got to figure out how do we take this from being a 500 ball club to, a perennial playoff team. And then how do we take it from being a perennial playoff team to a championship level team? You know what I mean? It's just a process that teams got to go through, but they've been used to winning basketball. Right? They've been used to winning basketball, so I can dig how they can be frustrated and upset.
What they really got to look at is where they are in their rebuild, right? And I think if they look at it from that perspective and look at, some other teams that have disabled their teams, their good teams, playoff teams, and how long it takes them to get back in that hunt, how long it takes them to get back to relevancy. And to me, they're borderline there. You know what I mean? Like they're not. They had a good year last year. They started the year off well above expectation. Tailed off towards the end, but I mean, they got a good return for Gobert. You know what I mean? They got a nice return for Mitchell, and they borderline, at least a playing team. I think that has to be encouraging. Maybe not from a fan base standpoint, going from all that winning, but at least from an organization standpoint. But sometimes as a fan, you got to take a step back and then look at the scenario, and because you can't really see it when you're in it.
Right. And take it from an experienced fan base and having to take a step back and try to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Because, we got some experience in doing so. We got some experience. The 77 said, NBA owes us draft picks for filling these arenas. Yeah, you know what? No doubt. Word up, though. Ain't no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. That's the truth.
Draft picks or some extra revenue splits or something.
So, I mean, because we're definitely feeling, helping teams sell out their arenas when we go places. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, NBA, do something. Give Knicks fans some discounts on jerseys or something.
Or road games.
or road games, something like that. I'm saying, because we're definitely helping you guys out. Yeah, let's get to a caller real quick. All right, we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to a caller. I'm gonna ask caller to turn it down in the back, please, if you can. All right, and I think this is Steph, right? Steph?
Yes,
How you
Steph
doing?
from Brooklyn. How
Steph,
y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you feeling?
Peace,
Oh,
Queen.
I'm ecstatic. I'm in a very good mood today, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning. First thing I did was listen to the Losers Lounge, because not the Losers Lounge, the the after, the post game chat that y'all had, and I just want to say that Tony, I really enjoyed listening to you and Josh go at it. I enjoy friendly debate, and it got heated, but that's what I love. I like that everything was out of love. But I love, listening to all the different viewpoints. So I just wanted to put that out there. Continue with that because, we don't all have the same opinion, but we all do have in common the love of our team,
Exactly.
And now that y'all talking, the thing that I called about was the fact that everybody's mad. Stay mad. Y'all are so disrespectful to the Knicks. So if anytime I could roll up into your house and outshout and overshadow you, that's the problem. And exactly. I just love to see it.
Exactly. Because you know how many, even to today, people are like, oh, we're losing to the Knicks? How are we losing to the Knicks? You know what I'm saying? We still, not getting the respect in a lot of fan bases.
It's time for them to catch up. Okay, exactly. I don't know what Knicks team they're thinking about, but what we have in the present is for real. And I mean, I think we're showing them that, especially now. We're the injuries and stuff like that, and these guys are just still playing big. I mean, my goodness, what is Dante doing? I mean, they are really. And what I tell y'all, I told you, my man Hartenstein is practicing that hook shot. Okay, It's like he heard me. He's coming through. These guys are stepping up. Oh my goodness, and Precious. Let me tell you, my favorite point of last night's game was I don't know if you recall, but Precious hit a shot and he kind of turned around and screamed and roared at the crowd. And then Hartenstein came over and chest bumped him. Man, that right there, I said, okay, he belongs. He believes it. He feels it. And I felt it. And that just took me back, and I just want that camaraderie. I love these guys. I feel like they're all here with a purpose. And now that the other guys are feeling it and they're coming along, it's just seamless. And, listen, I feel like we have a chance. Like I said, we're not complete, but you know what? It's almost like it doesn't matter because they believe it so much. You see that? They believe it and they're just moving forward.
Yeah, they believe it. You know what I mean? And the more, like they're playing without Julius Randle, playing without OG, but they're building and they're still growing and they're getting better. So when those guys come back, they're gonna be even deeper. They're gonna be they're gonna be a deeper team. Sure. They're gonna be able to use different lineups.
Oh, well, that's another thing. I love listening. One of the things that Tony touched upon was how, you take one person or put someone different and you have a different unit every time. I love, and I hate that we have the injury issues, but I do like getting to see how different pieces slot in. So it's just like, whether we have a small lineup or something larger, you get to see how these guys play off each other. Like I said, Precious and iHeart, they're like, they made quite a pairing last night. There were a few incidents where I just felt those guys were vibing, and I love to see that. And then, of course, we had the Villanova 3 out there acting up, and it was beautiful watching, Dominic and Brunson and my man Josh doing their thing. I was just sitting up there with a huge smile on my face last night. I just loved it. Loved it all.
Yeah, definitely enjoyable. Now we got a big matchup against Indiana.
How y'all feel about that? Tell me what you think that's going to look like.
The competition level goes up, a little bit higher now. You know what I mean? We took out Charlotte. So, it's been a good warm-up for the Knicks. Took out Charlotte, played Utah. Now the competition level goes up a little bit higher with Indiana. But I feel like with our style of defense right now, we're running around all over the place, hustling all over the place. I feel like we can slow down their offense. You know what I mean? And I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, he's Tyrese Halliburton. Now they got Pascal Siakam. And, they went through an adjustment period, probably still going through that adjustment period. But I'm not afraid of anybody, though.
Isn't that wonderful? Because I feel the same way. I mean, really, I've watched them adjust so well to, different, whether it's a team with lots of bigs or, shooting just our defense. Like someone said, this is the first time, a call you had yesterday, this is the first time since the 90s that I feel like really confident, but also you and Tony discussed the fact that we have something that we didn't have back then. We have offense, because that's back then we just ground it out, but now we actually have firepower to go with that. So I'm sitting up there like, wow, we could actually do this. And sometimes we make it seem so effortless, which we didn't have back then, because it was always a slog.
Always. It was always a grinded out, stressful game. But, now, I mean, past however many games, Knicks been, beating people by double digits.
Oh man, we're tearing it up.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting down to deadline, and y'all discussed the fact that you don't feel like that the Knicks really don't, do anything at deadline. So you think that we're done for now with, you think they're just going to hold on to their Fournier and, all the other stuff until maybe the off season? You don't think we're going to be getting any new players in, anything like that?
I don't know. I think there's a chance. I'll say that, especially if they know Julius Randle is going to come back, right? Then I think there's definitely a chance they just hold the fort and maybe pick up someone who's been waived or bought out, like a Kyle Lowry or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That way they still got all their chips in case something happens during the draft or during the off season. I think
okay, well, whatever, like y'all discussed yesterday, I'm open. Now I will go as far as to say I'm not going to be on their side if they decide to get crazy and get rid of Brunson or somebody. But I'm with that. Like I said, I was deep into that conversation with Tony and Josh, because I was like, don't be foolish now. Don't be so anesthetized that anything Rose do is okay, because that's not true. I will revolt up in here if you do something foolish. But so far they've been making good moves.
Yeah, they have.
I'm going to let you gentlemen go, but I do want to say one more thing. Sam, you remember the first thing we ever talked about? I'm going to say it again. Man, you're doing something great. Always remember to introduce yourself.
I appreciate it.
You are Sam, and this is Tony, and y'all greatness. All right?
Thank you.
Stay cool, my brothers. Okay, I'll talk to y'all soon.
Have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
Peace.
Sin, we're going to have to clip that call.
We can clip every call that she calls in. She always has a great call.
Agreed. Keep calling in, Steph.
Yeah, every time she calls in. Let me see what else we got from Utah. Josh, not Uncle Fulio Josh. Ella Josh said Utah is a disgrace to basketball.
Hey, you see,
disgrace, but
I get nervous when I don't see no profile picture. You know what I mean? but I be like, are the Knicks fans in here? But I vented him. He's definitely a Utah fan. He was just mad.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a profile or not. Yeah, it could be. You never know. Never know. Boston said it feels like Clarkson doesn't even want to be on the floor. He looks disinterested in playing and lazy. Now, he's somebody that there's been a lot of rumors that the Knicks are interested in Jordan Clarkson. What your assessment of Jordan Clarkson last night? And if you would make a move to put him on the bench?
It really feels like a lot of these guys that have been mentioned in trade talks or Knick targets, it feel like they've been playing for us already. Like, you know what I mean? Where we match up. I mean, Brogdon didn't have a great game. You know what I mean? When we went up against Portland here, I think that comment was kind of spot on. It didn't look like Clarkson was interested or aggressive or assertive. And that was the first thing that came to my mind watching him, because I was looking to see, all right, it seems like either they're auditioning or they're already helping us. You know what I mean? Like, and I could go through a list of players that we've played recently that's how it felt. Either they were auditioning or they was already helping us.
Right.
And felt like they was on the team already. I think he just had a bad game, but I do think it's coming to the point where the lack of direction, the lack of true direction or immediate direction is probably wearing on him. Like in years past, he knew what his role was. He knew the direction of the team. It was easy to go out there and just put in that work. When everything is up in the air, which I think it kind of is right now with this team, all the trade rumors, who they're gonna move, what direction they're gonna go. I think only guys that are really safe on that team are the young guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's just counting his days to get out of there.
Yeah. Nah, and if a player is, he may not, may just be disinterested in Utah, like you're saying. You know what I mean? It could be just that. I don't want to be here no more. So, I'm not motivated to play ball. Could be that. You know what I'm saying? What is your thoughts of him playing for the Knicks?
I like him. I like his game. I like the fact that he got the history with Randle. You know what I mean? Let Randle get a guy that he, Brunson got his whole his whole college team with him. You know what I mean?
All right.
Give Randle a guy that he kind of grew up with and somebody he could call his guy. Even though I don't think Randle has an issue with anybody on this team. I think the camaraderie and the togetherness is there, but I've been a fan of Clarkson for a couple years now. He definitely would fill in an offensive punch in that second unit. Yeah, I like him. He's not my first choice, but I wouldn't be mad at him.
All right. Okay. I mean, I want somebody personally that is, real heady, smart, that can run that second unit or that unit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, I Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, I really wouldn't mind guys like that, who can really run that unit. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even be opposed, Colin Sexton. I wouldn't be opposed to him either. But guys that can run that unit and really get the most out of, help get the most out of Quentin Grimes. He might not even be here if you make that trade, but help get the most out of whoever's in that second unit. You know what I mean? By having that true, playmaker, facilitator type of guy that can also score, play some defense, run the show, and give Brunson a little bit more of a break, especially right now with Julius Randle being out. There's going to be a lot on Brunson. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? And so the more we can give him a break so his body is fresh come playoff time, I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, one of the things, again, he's not like top choice of mine, but one of the things I do like about Clarkson is I feel like he's kind of, and this may be why he's mad or disinterested, because I feel like he's entering his prime and he could feel like it's being wasted in a developing team. You know what I mean? So I do think there is a possibility, whether here or somewhere else, that's contending or what I mean, in the playoff hunts, you'll probably see the best of him. You know what I mean? That get that injection of life and something to play for and things like that. So I think he's in his pre-prime. He's just entering his prime, and you may see the best of him moving forward, whether here or elsewhere.
Yeah.
Probably not in Utah though.
Right. Yeah, probably not in Utah.
The coolest 718 says, outside of Knicks fans, everyone that doesn't watch Knicks still thinks we're in the Isaiah Thomas days.
Yeah, they do. Exactly. They do. You know what I mean? Especially, casual fans, they look and they're like, surprised that the Knicks are good. Which I get it, because the Knicks have been bad for so long, but surprised that the Knicks are good.
Oh, wow. Somebody said Clarkson's 31. He been in his prime. I didn't know he was 31. I thought he was 28, 29. I stand corrected.
Sheesh. Brady said, when are the Jazz going to get serious and go get some real talent and win a championship? I mean, they tried
for years.
Yeah.
With real talent.
With real talent, and they didn't get it done. That happens sometimes. You know, so now they're trying to figure out which is. Listen, Danny H, as much as I don't like him, because you know, the way that he does things, he is a good general manager. You know what I mean? They have a lot of assets. He'll find a way to either draft talent, trade for talent, you know what I mean, and get the team good again. I believe that. I think he will. I mean, I definitely think he will. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, right? Since the Knicks took over the third seed last night. We want to give some thanks to the Golden State Warriors for defeating the Philadelphia 76ers. And since the Sixers lost to the Warriors, and it allowed the Knicks to take over the third seed in the Eastern Conference, we figured, it might be nice to honor the 76ers with a 76ers Losers Lounge and throw up a couple of comments from their fans. You know what I mean? Because the Sixers are their fan base is mad right now. Their fan base, they're ready to throw in the towel, kind of, Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's funny how what a week could do.
Right. They're tired of Joel Embiid always getting hurt. Let me ask you this. How much do you think, speaking of Joel Embiid, right? How much do you think Leon Rose, if Leon Rose was really interested in trying to get Joel Embiid, just looking at knowing his injury history, he's injured again now, looking at saying, I don't know. We need people that's going to be here. I mean, we're dealing with Mitchell Robinson, who's a big part of the team, but Joel Embiid would be a huge part of the team.
I'm unsure, Sim. I'm unsure because if you look at all the turmoil and injuries that we've been withstanding, you know what I mean? Does that make them feel like Embiid for 65 games is better than no Embiid? You know what I mean? Like we'll be able to make up for his time missed with the collection of players, even though it's gonna cost a collection of players to go get Embiid. You know what I mean? So the roster won't be as depth. Me personally, I feel like there's concern. I wouldn't jump on that opportunity without kind of looking at every possibility. But I don't know, because that might be the guy they've been waiting for. You know what I mean? And if it is, I think they do pull a trigger.
Yeah. I'd be nervous. I ain't gonna front. I'd be nervous. I'd be real nervous. Listen, Mitchell Robinson is Mitch, and he's often injured, but he's not. He's not the Julius Randle to the team or the Jalen Brunson to the team.
Exactly.
Joel Embiid would be that to this basketball team. And you'd be hoping and praying that that guy doesn't go down with something. But 76ers fans, ladies and gentlemen, well, this season is done. Blow it up. Would you do that if you were the Sixers?
Nah. See, if Embiid is already on your team, that's different than going out and trading for him at this point. Right. You know what I mean? I feel like if he was already here, if he was the guy we drafted and he's that talented, I'm playing the safe game with him. Like, I probably wouldn't have played them yesterday. I definitely wouldn't have played them once he looked like he wasn't himself before he got re-injured. You know what I mean? Before he, like, I think that's where that frustration comes. I deal with that part, you know what I mean, and just kind of preserve him as much as possible because he's all world talent.
Right.
But yeah, so as the 76ers, I would try to ride it out, build around him, get some security blankets. You know, I thought Paul Reed was that. Maybe not. But yeah, I wouldn't if he's already on the team. But if we're talking about an outside team looking to grab him, I think you got to be cautious. You got to be more cautious as an outside team than as a team that already has him. So I wouldn't blow it up. And I don't trust that front office to blow it up and make the right and make the right move. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like they've made some huge blunders, you know what I mean, over the past couple years in moving guys around them. So who's to say they're gonna move him and then right the ship?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Start the process all over again.
Reprocessing.
Reprocessing. Word. Coach J NYC said God-given talent does not equate to winning. Joe's not a winner. Mistake and injury prone, always on the ground. Why? GTFOH. You know what that means. No, man. It sounds like Knicks fans are getting, Sixers fans are getting tired of it, though. You know, and just ready to say, let's cut our losses, let's move on and make something different happen.
Would you do it? You know, throw the question back at you.
It's a tough one because I think would I do it? I don't know. It's tough because if you do it, you got to have a real plan to your fan base. You know what I'm saying? You really got to be able to present a plan and say, all right, this is what we're doing, and here's why. You know what I mean? And then say, yeah, this is our plan. The thing is, if you move Joel Embiid, you're getting some pieces back. You're getting some draft picks back. You're probably going to get some young players back to start your rebuild. You know what I mean? Which is going to allow you to rebuild a little bit faster. You know what I mean? Would I do it right now? I probably wouldn't do it right now. But after this year, nothing materializes with this team, I think I'd do it. I'd be ready to say, yeah, let's restart this. I mean, because how long has it been that they've been trying to win with Joel Embiid now?
Yeah, he's a true vet now. I mean, he's been in the league 10 years, right?
Something like that.
Like in the league. I don't know if he played 10 years, but I think he got drafted.
He definitely didn't play.
Oh, man, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah, he's going to be 30 this March.
And it sucks because, like, he's arguably having his best season. You know what I mean? When he's on the floor, he's killing out there offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I said, he's all world talent, like generational talent. You don't find guys like that. But the health, like, that's always been the biggest concern. And
Right.
and as a big man, the you know what I mean, their careers are kind of cut short with injuries.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Jack said this is why the 65-game rule is awful and Embiid should not be playing, but for awards and dollars, he has to. You agree with that?
I like the 65-game rule.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like I kind of look at it the opposite way. I feel like, especially if you already got these awards before, which he
Right.
did, you
Right.
know what I mean? I think this helps players make more of a mindful decision as far as their health over their awards.
Right.
I believe Joel will miss. I don't think he'll hit 65 games this year. I really don't. And obviously I thought that prior to him going down last night.
I think he only had like 6 games to go.
Yeah.
6 more games that he can miss. So he's not going to hit that 65 games. I mean, the whole thing about the 65 games is the NBA wanting to, secure their money. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that guys are playing on TNT, on ESPN, ABC, so they can continue to make that TV money. And the players can continue to get paid, the salaries that they get paid.
What I don't like though, so from an injury standpoint, I like it. And I think you should have to play a certain amount of games to qualify for certain awards or attributes or super maxes and all that. Where it gets tricky is if an organization is holding you back because they don't want you to reach these goals. If you play this many games, you get an extra million. We trying to, we trying to preserve that extra million. Or see, so that's where it gets tricky to me. I think you got to be a scumbag organization to go that route.
Do that, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm 100% sure it's been done before. You know what I mean? Teams restrict you from reaching your incentives.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Roll Hill said it was so dumb to not pay Harden. Gonna waste Embiid's time, prime. What do you think? You think it was dumb not to pay him?
Yep. I mean, you weren't gonna get back an equal return. And I think it wasn't. I mean, the fact that his stance was he was promised. Keep your word. This goes back to the whole scumbag organization thing.
Right.
Like, keep your word. Simple as that. Keep your word.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, keep your word. Let's see. Lauren from Cali, what's going on, man?
Gentlemen, good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good.
Peace,
good
fam.
afternoon for us. Good morning for you. Good afternoon for us.
Yeah. Just wanted to stop. Actually, I was going to call to say something, but this Joel Embiid conversation is pretty interesting because just to give patient Knicks fans credit, Joel Embiid was one of the guys we wanted to trade the farm for at one point. Everyone was like, give everything we've ever had up for Joel Embiid, even though it's shown. I mean, he came into the league injured. He stayed injured consistently. Yes, he's a great player, but he's a very delicately great player. Like, you got to be extremely cautious and careful for somebody like Joel. And to get Joel, what are we talking about? Starting at like 8 first? You know what I mean? Especially after that MVP. I feel bad for him, but this is the reality of, Joel Embiid.
Right.
Because he's a big body, he's a heavy body player who's not as stationary as somebody like Jokic, who doesn't really move that much. He tries to move a lot, which is his game, but this is what comes with it, But what I actually called to say was about yesterday's game and games before this, but the last 3 games that Julius has missed specifically. I think Julius Randle is not entering this league that I always spoke against, right? I never really believed when they'll say players want to play with this player or players will take less to go play with this player. But Jalen Brunson is entering that league of players player, right? Because they say there's a, players coach. I think Jalen Brunson is now showing that he's that stability that a lot of good players are going to want to play with, because everybody's shining right now. Of course, it's our defense. The coaching has stepped up, but Jalen Brunson's stoic, kind of silent respectability is playing a silent role that I think should be, definitely considered. I could see a lot of players saying, you know what? I look around the league. I don't want the LeBron drama or the KD drama. Luka's not going to pass me the ball. Steph Curry's castle is crumbling. It looks like Jalen Brunson's got something over there in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I noticed that in the last 2 games. I'm like, yo, I think we got something here deeper than what I considered. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I mean, so what is it? Are you saying about Randle?
Okay, so that's all right. So this is a conversation that I had with somebody yesterday about Randle and Mitch Robinson specifically, how they get reincorporated into the system.
Mm-hmm.
And the person asked me, why didn't I say that about OG? Right? Well, because OG, we all know, doesn't need the ball in his hand. He plays his game. He's like Dante. He's like Josh Hart. He just plays the game the way the game flows. Right? I know Julius Randle fans are going to get upset at this. That's not my goal, right? It's just the play style of Julius Randle and playing with Jalen Brunson, right? Obviously now it's clearly Jalen Brunson's team. I mean, I don't think it's deniable anymore. It's Jalen Brunson's team, and the team is going to go as Jalen Brunson goes, and our success is going to go as Jalen Brunson goes.
Right.
I would like you to answer the question that you asked me to, but I'll answer first, right? I will always stick up for Julius Randle because of his contract. His contract is fantastic, right? I'm willing to deal with some of the nonsense that he does sometimes, as long as it doesn't get in the way of winning, because, again, he outperforms his contract. He is an amazing player. The play style, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we can clearly see the Knicks can do, which is move the ball and literally play a complete game on both sides of the court, right? What we see the team can do without Julius Randle. It doesn't mean we should go without him, but what we see we can do, and then when you consider Julius Randle's style of play, which would we prefer? Would we prefer to, stay pushing, trying to win with Julius Randle's style, or do we see that we could possibly have better flow and more realistic winning chances by playing this style of play? You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's a bigger deal than a lot of people are pushing, because I mentioned this Julius Randle thing yesterday, and they're like, man, what you talking about? He has 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. I'm like, that's true. Again, he's amazing. But if we're talking about play style,
mm-hmm.
right? I don't know. It's tricky. I want you to answer that question though. What do you think?
I think that when you get into playoff battles, you're gonna need somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You need more than just Jalen Brunson who can draw the defense. You need more.
100%.
You need more than that. You can't just rely on, guys are gonna be able to flash and cut and move and run. It's not gonna work that
100%.
way when you get in the playoffs, because there's more grabbing and holding. Defenses are tighter, and you're gonna need a guy like Julius Randle that can have the ball in that mid post, draw the defense, kick it out. I don't think this team is. Yeah, they won the last 2 games without Randle. I don't think this team is going deep in the playoffs without Randle.
I agree, but now here's a question I have for you though, because again, I'm not talking about Julius Randle the person or anything. I'm just talking about X's and O's, right?
Right.
And ignore what these players have accomplished individually. I'm just talking about play style. If Julius Randle played like Sabonis, because again, I'm talking about flow of the game, do you think I will have a point there where I'm saying, yes, we definitely need Randle to play his best basketball for us to go any further in the playoffs? It's just a fact. He's a great player. A player like Sabonis' style may lead us to better chances. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who moves the ball and is not as ISO reliant, but still gives you as much productivity. Or somebody like AD, like players who know how to play off the ball. in flow, as opposed to kind of stopping the offense and needing to stop the offense to get to their game. Because I think Julius Randle is more like a Zach Randolph, right? Where he has to stop the ball. He's a willing passer this year more than ever. But I'm curious to see.
I don't think Sabonis draws the defense the way Julius Randle does. I don't think they draw the defense in, and that's a big difference. You know what I mean? Sabonis is good. There's no doubt about it. Right? But if you're in the playoffs and your team needs a bucket, who you going to? Sabonis or Randle?
Okay. Now stay there, because you've seen it twice in the playoffs now. I think, right, that question that you just asked is why Julius Randle gets in trouble in the playoffs. Because the way Julius Randle gets a bucket against real defenses leads to turnovers, right? That's what I believe. That's why I think he struggles in the playoffs, because once he goes into his post and there's a double team or a triple team, or just him versus the defender in general, he will dribble the ball off his foot. It doesn't mean he's a bad player. It's just the way he gets a bucket sometimes gets him in trouble.
True. But I also think when you look at the playoffs, one of the things that the Knicks have not had until this season is good spacing. You look at the playoffs, we shot terribly from the three-point line, which means that everybody was queuing right in on Randle, which made it tough. And each time they've been in the playoffs with Randle, it's been the same exact thing. I think this year, there's a real potential to see something totally different in the playoffs because of the spacing.
And somebody said something yesterday in like a conversation I was having, where he said, because I asked the question, how do you reincorporate Julius Randle and Mitch? And he made a point that I think actually makes sense. He says, don't play them together. And it could go to your point where if there's not spacing, Julius Randle may get himself in trouble.
Yeah,
and maybe that spacing is Mitchell Robinson.
I don't think when Mitchell Robinson comes back, he's going to start.
Yeah.
For the remainder of this season. If he comes back this season, I don't see him starting for the remainder of the season. Next season, you see what happens then. But I think if he comes back this season, I don't think he's starting. I think they're going to stick with Hartenstein because they've been playing so long and they've built, that chemistry.
Yeah. I think it's a really good conversation to have, because we see our success in different dynamics now. We saw our success yesterday without OG and Randle and Mitch. We've seen it without Randle and Mitch. We've seen different dynamic ways that we can win. And one thing that I think people are missing, the Utah Jazz are not some complete trash team, because I'm seeing people trying to dismiss, they beat the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz did have an 8-game winning streak just like 5 games ago. So they're not trash, you know what I'm saying? But we're seeing a different Knicks. And you guys talked about, by the way, I didn't know Josh was the one who commented when I called last time and I said I want to pop champagne after we beat the Nuggets. I didn't know Josh was the Josh who comes on his channel. That's who said it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Until I saw yesterday, I'm like, wait, hold on. Of course I'm popping champagne, because the reason why I'm popping champagne is because as a Knicks fan, I've watched the Spurs do the patient build thing. I watched the Pistons do the patient build thing. And for the longest time, I felt like my fellow Knicks fans wanted star. And for the first time, I see, oh, wow, incremental growth. Like we should have been doing this whole time. So that's what I'm popping champagne for. Not just the wins in the regular season.
Right.
It's the fact that the Knicks have, you know what I'm saying, stability.
Yeah.
That's what I'm popping champagne about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Josh is gonna.
We was with you, bro. We was with you.
Josh is gonna do what Josh does.
It's all good though.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, love. No doubt.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Tony? What he was just saying?
I'm not with it. We need Randle, point blank, period. He's a game changer for this team. I get, we won. How many games we won without him? 3?
2.
2, and then the first
Utah.
Come on, we on an 8-game winning streak. We won 2 without him.
Right.
He was on the verge of playing his best ball again of the season, but of his career again. Again, he continues to get better. Like, that's the only thing I'm like, that's the most discouraging thing about the situation is the wait for him to come back, and then how long does it take for him to get back? You know what I mean? To himself. Cause that's gonna be a grace period too. But we need Randle in the long run, in the short run. We're withstanding, we're winning without him right now, and great, but we need him back as soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Right. Right. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We need the guy back. You know. Finishing off this 76ers discussion, Justin said, this is what Adam Silver wants. He wants these players hurt, to play hurt. I don't think so. I mean, you're a player. You have the right to say I can't play. Doctors can say I can't play. I mean, it's just, you got to play a minimum amount of games in order to qualify for certain things.
Yeah, I think what he wants is players to. He doesn't want players not playing when they can, as opposed to playing when they can't.
Exactly, because it hurts the league's money, and that means the players' money. Paris Duggar said the money is back. Here's some get back, Sim and Tony. Tell Boston Milwaukee will be outside. Also, shout out to DiVincenzo for getting mad for that bully Brunson crap and lighting Utah up. Vanilla Jordan. No doubt, man.
Appreciate you.
Great basketball. Fans are loving it all over the place. We're all loving it, man. It's great to see the Knicks playing this type of basketball, having this type of success. No doubt. Paris, man, thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. But Tony, I think I'm going to get on up out of here. I got to get some work done.
No doubt. No doubt.
Not.
Tentatively, Knicks and Bruises, tentatively 3:00. So look out for that. Talking Halliburton versus Brunson, that matchup coming up. So
yeah,
deep dive into that. A couple other topics.
No doubt. That should be that's gonna be a dope matchup. So yeah, make sure you check out Knicks and Bruises later on today, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely appreciate your time. Get out of here because I got to get some work done. And if I can, I don't know. Tony said maybe he's gonna go on later on tonight. If I can, I'll be available.
No doubt.
Yeah, folks, we appreciate you. Have a great day at work or whatever it is that you got to do today. All right, and yeah, we're gonna get up out of here, folks. Peace.
Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we